We are entering into one of my absolute favorite times of the year, and that is springtime. So in today's video, I'm talking all about what it's like to live in Denver, Colorado during the springtime. If that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and keep on watching. Welcome back to Colorado Living. I'm Nicole Baker. Today we're going over exactly that, but before we get started, you know the drill. I have to let you guys know I'm a licensed realtor here in this beautiful state. So if relocating to Denver, Colorado is on your mind and you need some help, go ahead and reach out. My number and email are popping up. But if you're not quite ready to reach out yet, go ahead and subscribe. I have a lot of you guys that watch my videos constantly but are not subscribed. Please subscribe. And also, I post videos every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. so you can look forward to that content. But let's get started all about springtime in Denver. Getting right into it, springtime here in Denver, Colorado is unlike most places in the world, I would say, maybe in the States for sure, is it is very bipolar. For a lack of better words, it gets crazy and the weather differences from day to day it's just, I don't know what happens here, but one day it'll be 60 degrees, super sunny, beautiful, borderline almost hot outside, especially coming from the winter time where we're super cold for a majority of, you know, the previous 4 to 3 months where we're in the 30s, and we finally get those 60-degree days. We're actually getting kind of hot. I know that I am, or I'm just not prepared for it, I guess, or I'm wearing too much clothes. I don't know what it is, but some days I'm just like, wow, that got hot really quick. Or we could be dealing literally like the last couple days where it's like 60 degrees one day, then all of a sudden it's raining, and then all of a sudden we have 2 to 3 inches of snow. I don't know how, but that is really how especially March begins. So typically March is the first month of spring. Into February, it's starting to get a little bit warmer outside, which is nice. You might have that one-off day of the 60 degrees, which is perfect. That's like my ideal temperature. And again, why spring is one of my favorite seasons, but unfortunately we can't get that all year long. But Denver does have some of the best weather. I think they say about 300 days of sunshine. So we definitely get to enjoy the sun. Unfortunately, we get to have those random snowstorms, which I don't know how, when, what, where, why, but that's just how it is. Another thing that I want to mention is that's more like in the March time frame. Once we get into that April, you might even see more snow. It's just crazy how different the weather is, especially in spring. Spring is like the most erratic time, I would say, of the Denver, Colorado weather system. So just be prepared for that. Most days are going to be beautiful and sunny, but you might have that random snowstorm, which doesn't make any sense, but that's just how it is. Another thing about spring is it is very, very windy here during the springtime. And depending my definition of wind, where I'm coming from, Phoenix, where it literally, there was no wind at all. Like, I don't think I ever got wind. Moving here, I moved actually conveniently enough around the springtime, and I was kind of shocked at like how windy it is, and how I watched videos just like you guys all about like moving here and what to expect and things like that. So I'm really familiar with what's out there, and no one was bringing up actually how windy it gets here. I think the first couple days someone's car flew open and it dinged my car, and I was so sad because it was like a brand new car and it didn't have any scratches on it yet, but now it does, unfortunately, but that's fine. It is definitely going to be windy, so expect that during your March seasons. Heading into April, again, you're going to be kind of seeing the same thing. Definitely going to see some random snowstorms that don't make any sense. But honestly, I've been here during June time when I was just visiting here before I even lived, and I remember I didn't bring any jackets or anything like that because I was expecting, you know, beautiful weather, 90 degrees during the summertime, random snowstorm. It was the craziest thing. I had to go out and buy a jacket. But after April, we are in May. May, yep, that's another spring month, I would say. Not too hot. We were definitely getting up there in temperature, probably 75, almost hitting 80 some days. Super sunny and beautiful. As we get closer to that summertime, you're seeing pretty much no snow at all. You're seeing hotter days, and then also it does get less windy. It's for some reason mostly in the spring, and I might be being a small bit dramatic. It's not that windy. I would say maybe it's pretty windy, let's say, I don't know, 10 times out of the 3 months of spring, so not too bad overall. But let's talk more about what to do here in Denver, Colorado during the springtime. Let's go. Springtime is definitely when it seems like all the Coloradans are out and ready to play. They are excited for springtime because the winter is always feels so long, like towards that last little stretch of, you know, February heading into March. We're like, okay, we're ready for warmth, we're ready for sun, no more snow, please. I want to get out there and do some springtime activities. So whether you plan to be super active or not, it doesn't matter because Colorado has it all. I'm not this like super active, want to go hiking all the time kind of person. If you guys have seen my videos before, you know I'm a super big homebody. I really don't leave my house much except for to, you know, help you guys, and then also whenever I want to go shopping or just like to drive in my car looking at nature. I'm definitely one of those type of people that's like, I don't want to actually physically walk anywhere, but I love the scenery that Colorado has to offer. So definitely a few different things that you can do during the springtime, whether it be like that where you're sitting in your car and you're heading up to Estes, Boulder, just doing some of those more fun things, Fort Collins, if you want to go down to Colorado Springs. All of these places are a little bit further out, but I think that they really shine during the springtime because it's not as cold, people are out, animals are out, it's a good time. And then those are also, I would say, more touristy areas. So there's a lot of little shops that you can go to, things like that if you don't enjoy, again, going out, hiking, that kind of thing. But springtime is definitely the time where you see everybody out walking. So whether you're in the neighborhood walking your dog, just going for a walk with your friends, family, whatever that may be, kids are playing at the park, kids are on their bikes, people are definitely hiking the trails, they're walking the trails. We have 42 state parks in Colorado, so lots of fun outdoor activities. People are definitely heading out hiking, and believe it or not, springtime, there's still snow up in the mountains, so you can go skiing. I say that a lot of people probably spend most of their spring break with you if you have kids and spring break is relevant to you. They're definitely up there in the resorts having fun, going skiing and enjoying that last little bit of the winter weather, I would say. So that's always fun. My favorite place has always been Estes Park. It seems like I go there at least once a year, probably more. I just really enjoy it up there. It's a good time. Lots of, you know, animals out, lots and lots of elk, which is one of my favorite things about Colorado. You guys know, I say it pretty much probably every single videos. I love the animals that are just like roaming around here. I think that's the coolest thing. So Estes Park is really fun for that. They have the Stanley up there if you're into any sort of like ghosty kind of things. Colorado has the Stanley at Estes Park, which I think they filmed Dumb and Dumber there too. So it's just a really cool place to go. They have some food places up there, lakes, I mean, entrance to the Rocky National Forest up there as well. But it's a good time if you head up there, or if you want to go down to Boulder. They have a lot of cool places. I would say Boulder's not necessarily where I would personally want to live because it is definitely a college town, but that's always fun to head up there during the springtime when it's actually like nice outside and you can walk. I believe it's called Pearl Street, where they have kind of like all the shopping centers and stuff like that. It's like, it's just a good time, really pretty, lots of flowers out, things like that. Also, if you enjoy like fishing, now is kind of the time, maybe towards more towards the end of spring, but lots of fishing. Golf is coming back now that the snow is all melting and we can actually see the course. Lots of people out golfing, preferably not on those windy days, but it is still lots of fun. Lots of golf courses here in Colorado. I would say that that's one of the most popular activities to do outside of like things that you can do in the mountains, like hiking, biking, that kind of thing. And you don't even have to do that in the mountains. I mean, there's literally Cherry Creek State Park right basically in the center of Denver, at the heart of Denver. So not too far to enjoy all the things that spring has to offer. And even if you don't like doing that, I mean, who wants to go shopping and walk around and explore places when it's super cold? Pretty much no one. Also, okay, I forgot about this. This is the biggest thing about springtime. One of my absolute favorite things. We get to go ahead an hour, so we actually get some daylight in the day. So instead of it getting dark at 4 o'clock, which is like prime winter season, you're probably getting dark around 4:30. Now that we are in daylight savings, we're actually springing forward 1 hour. I'm like, how does daylight savings work again? Again, you guys, Arizona doesn't have spring, it doesn't have daylight savings. So I am still like mind boggled on how that even works, but irrelevant. I'm sure all other states have daylight savings, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Once spring comes, we actually get daylight, and now it's been saying light outside till probably around 7 o'clock, and it's just like, you don't know what you have until it's gone. I just love it. That's one of my favorite things about spring. But let's talk a little bit more about what it's like to purchase a home in the spring, especially in an all season kind of market. It's definitely different than most states. So let's go on to that now. All right, guys, heading into the next thing, what is the spring housing market like here in Denver, Colorado? So if you live in an all-weather season kind of state, you're probably pretty familiar with this, but always, wintertime is typically going to be quite a bit slower just because, one, it's the holiday season. No one likes to be selling their house during the holiday season. And people are just, enjoying family time and things like that. And they don't want to go out and look at homes either. So heading into springtime is when people are serious. They're not messing around at all. Springtime is definitely the highest volume typically in the Denver, Colorado market for people purchasing homes and people selling their homes. So they are definitely getting prepared for kids to get out of school, that kind of thing, getting ready to move. I would say spring and summer, both of those seasons, especially here in Colorado, are going to be somewhat competitive. What I want to prepare you guys for, this is obviously more of a broad statement when it comes to like spring being a particularly busy season for people selling their houses and people buying their houses. Today in 2023, this spring is definitely a market that is not going to be similar to the last couple markets or the markets before that. What I mean by that is right now, because of interest rates, you guys have probably heard it from every single person, your mom, your brother, your great grandma, I don't know, but you've probably heard it from everybody that the interest rates are super volatile. If you guys have seen my videos, I know you guys have heard me say that for sure. Whenever I mean super volatile is, I mean, like literally in the morning, the interest rate could be super low. Like later in that afternoon, it could be high. So depending on what time you're looking, but I think that at this point in time, a lot of people have really realized that interest rates are not going to go back down. We're not having this extremely crazy depreciation or anything like that. The market's not going to crash. I promise you that. Please, please, please don't wait for that because it's not happening. Colorado's housing market and economy in general is one of the top economies in the United States, so we don't see anything like that happening. Obviously, do what's best for you guys. If you don't believe me, I don't know what to say. A lot of people didn't believe me pre-pandemic that the housing prices were gonna go up either, and now unfortunately, they probably will never be able to buy a house because the pricing has just absolutely skyrocketed and caused just a whole problem with the housing market, and it's really unfortunate. But anyways, going back to the housing market today is we have really realized that the interest rates aren't going anywhere. Yes, they might drop down a couple points, that kind of situation, but I would highly suggest if you guys are wanting to buy a house, please don't wait. It is only gonna get more expensive here. We're not seeing any sort of price droppage at all. We will definitely see an increase in values in homes. Granted, I would keep this in mind when I say like people, when you go on Zillow, for example, you'll see on there, you know, it looks like all these houses are getting price decreases, things like that. Trust me guys, those people were already priced like extreme to get go. Like they think that they can get so much more for their house than they can just because that's what people were doing a year ago or 2 years ago. Now that's not happening, and that's why those prices look like they're going down. Actually, and this kind of just goes to say like spring market just becomes a better market, especially for sellers, is going to be in December. I think average days on market, whether it be like, I think I did a search, I guess, like a little stat search, right? Of Denver, Centennial, and Arapahoe County. So that's kind of like the south end side of Denver, but they all pretty much matched up. And that was showing that in December, homes were sitting about 25 days on average. And that's for a beautiful home, all of the things that you would probably want in a house, and then also priced well to get go, right? When you see a house that's been on the market for 100 days, I mean, you're obviously gonna price it, like it's gonna keep going down in price, and then also you're gonna lowball it. I would highly suggest that if I was your realtor at that time. But now so that was December, going into January, we actually saw houses sitting on the market for about 35 days. Now that we're in March, I only have the stats for February, obviously, because March isn't quite over yet. We are seeing about 20 days on market. So we are definitely dropping down in supply. And I think only what the last 2-3 years have shown us is that when we have a low supply, that means high demand, which means people are willing to pay over. So just keep that in mind. I would highly suggest you guys really think about a plan in order to purchase a home and what that looks like timeline wise, whether you can secure a property in advance. I think that would be a great option, but we can talk more about that. You guys know that I'm free to chat all about the bajillion different situations that you guys might be in. You're all in different points of your lives. You're all at different price points. You're all at different locations. I mean, it would be impossible for me to give you every single scenario in a, 15-20 minute video. It just wouldn't be possible. So hopefully that gave you a better idea of what the spring housing market looks like here in Colorado. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, pretty please hit the like button. And if you want more content like this, again, lots of you guys watch my videos but aren't subscribed. Please subscribe so you guys get my notifications. When I post every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. But until next time guys, I am a licensed realtor here in this beautiful state. So if relocating is something that's been on your mind and you want to change your life just like I did, go ahead and reach out. My number and email are popping up. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.